discussing our role in this phenomenon. Globally accepted is the vital importance of natural resources, particularly forests, in helping to regulate the Earth's climate. Yet humans continue to devastate these resources. Those living in industrialized countries have become largely isolated from the Earth's natural environment. In turn, industrialization has led to greater pressure to exploit our environment. People just can't seem to truly individually conceptualize what we're doing to the natural world and ultimately to ourselves. But not everyone is contributing negatively to global climate change and the environment. Some just through the way they live.
For centuries, the forest has been vital for our way of life.
The forest is important for both the whole world and us.
Our indigenous women have set up a plan for forest protection.
We have a strong commitment to defend our forest and land. If I die, my children and grandchildren will continue to protect it.
Often underappreciated and also overlooked in terms of environmental management and protection are the world's indigenous peoples. Many remain living traditional lifestyles amid a natural world environment, especially in the forest. Over 300 million people collectively belong to these groups. They comprise about 5% of the world's population, use 4,000 languages, and live in 70 countries. Indigenous peoples make up about 1/3 of the world's poorest rural people. They depend heavily on the natural resources available to them, which is why it is so important that they maintain and protect their environment. Because, although not plugged into the global market system, they are especially vulnerable to its socio-economic and environmental related results. These indigenous people care greatly about protecting the natural resources vital for their and ultimately our survival.
The forest creates the oxygen we breathe.
The forest provides us with important things such as the tree resin we collect and sell in the market. This is a primary income source. It also provides for numerous types of non-timber forest products such as wildlife, vegetables, and honey.
We are not afraid to die. If we lose our forest, we will die.
Cambodia has one of the worst deforestation rates in the world. Its primary rainforest cover went from over 70% in 1970 to 3.1% in 2007. And this is where the indigenous Khoi people have lived for generations, amidst the forests of North Cambodia. Here, an inter-community women-led group is taking steps to protect the forests. But what is it they are protecting? What to some may seem to be simply a forest, for the women of the Prame commune, it is a resource and pantry that provides raw material for their daily lives and supplements for their diet, as well as the resin they sell mostly to boat builders. There is protein and medicine in some of the most surprising places.
Oh my God, no!
The forest is our life. We can't send our children to school because of the forest.
We don't borrow money from financial institutions for our way of life. We generate money from the forest sustainably, especially by collecting tree resin. So the forest is my everything.
When we want to build a house, we go to the forest and get the wood. We practice our shifting cultivation techniques, which are not harmful to the natural environment. We use each place for 3 to 4 years, then leave it alone for 5 to 10 years. Each household has about 4 to 5 hectares, which is their own farming land that is not part of the big forest, which we reserve mostly for our resin trees.
The women gather about once a week and head off into the forest to collect tree resin. Resin collecting is a simple process. It's essentially a waiting game, as it takes about a week for the tree to seep enough resin to fill its human-made collection basin.
I don't know exactly when we started doing resin tapping. I've been doing it since I was born. But at that time, we used resin only for our torches. First, we tap the big trees and make the hole for collecting the resin. We then take the resin from the hole before we burn it, which makes the oil come for the next time. We then transport the resin to our home. I guarantee that even if we burn the hole in the tree, it will not affect the tree's life. I received many trees from my parents, and I can still get the resin from them. We've done this for generations.
The women go into the forest to collect a selection of non-timbered products.
This kind of tree is used as one of our traditional medicines. For generations, we have used this kind of tree for curing diseases, especially those related to women. For instance, this one is good for women after giving birth. It makes their breast produce enough milk for the baby, and it's another one that is good to use during the menstrual cycle. These are the paya leaves. We use them to cover our torches that are filled by the tree resin. We can also use them as roofing materials for our houses. They last a long time. This is a special tree we in the Khoi language call Ongre Tak. In Khmer, it's called Ongre Dak. It provides for many benefits. Its roof is a cure for various diseases, and we eat the flower as a vegetable. It is very delicious and healthy, especially when we use for making soup with fish. This is a spider we call to. We use it for our local food as well as a traditional medicine. In the past, we didn't have modern medicine, so we used this spider to treat the measles. We still use it for this in combination with modern medicine. These are only a few types of non-timber forest products we have collected from the forest. So the forest is really important for us. This is why we, the indigenous peoples, all try our best to protect the forest.
So that we can implement a protection plan regularly, this means non-stop forest patrolling.
The women patrol the forests for illegal loggers. It's a difficult journey and takes time away from their routines. However, it's necessary.
As we were patrolling our forest, we stopped these people who are logging illegally. We asked them where they got the wood from. We want to find out this information and then take action.
We said the forest is for our communities.
They told us that this wood belongs to the district police military officer. We taken his wood a few times.
The loggers gave us their thumbprints and the promise that they will never again return to cut the forest. We took their photos and their promises. We warned them if we see them cutting the forest again, there will be court action.
If members of the local communities transport the wood, the responsible officials will take the wood and put them in jail. But if the wood belongs to the police military officer, then those officers will only put it down to experience. So today we women of the Prame Commune decided to take this wood and action based on our laws, using citizen-based power to do so.
We get this wood from this forest. I was asked to transport it from the forest to the village. Other people cut out this wood. I only sell my labor to carry it. I don't know whether taking this wood is legal or illegal. I was asked to transport it to the district police military office. I don't know what he will use it for.
We have faced various challenges. In 2000, the company Shenda Plywood came to our community and cut our forest and resin trees. We complained and protested at the grassroots, national and international levels. The company stopped its activities in 2002.
We are successful at protecting our forest because large companies no longer come to cut it. We only have cases of small-scale illegal logging. Most importantly, we protect our resin trees, which are our lives and incomes. And these trees are protected by the law.
The women are leading these efforts, the men are supporting them. The women's ability to organise and negotiate is valued by the community. These efforts have curbed illegal loggings by large companies, as well as cultivated a revolution in the community's gender roles.
The women are very active at protecting the forest. They are especially effective when facing the logging companies and authorities. The women are good at communications and are peaceful.
Indigenous women always go ahead because we have learned that the reaction from the logger is lesser to women than men. There is less potential for violence.
The men here value the roles of the women. They promote the women and gender equality. Women have the same rights as men. The men always join the women to protect the forest. It's like the front and back feet of a cow. We always support each other.
The women work with government staff, particularly the forestry administrations, to address deforestation issues. They lead groups for consultations on the common problems happening in the communities, as well as identifying action needed to address these issues.
I think it's good that our indigenous women are empowered like this. In the past, most men looked down on the women who couldn't go out from the kitchen, and now they're as brave as the man.
As an indigenous youth, I'm very happy to see our women strong and brave enough to protect the forest.
I'm hopeful because women have more unity than men and are strong. If there is no solidarity, there is no hope.
We will continue to keep the spirit of solidarity and unity in this joint struggle to protect our forest. We do this not only for ourselves, but also especially for our next generations.
If we lost the land and forest, we will have to sell ourselves into labor. Then the old people like me will die because we don't have the power to do labor.
We will teach and share our traditions and community unity to our children and grandchildren to protect the forest for long-term sustainability.
Indigenous peoples and their knowledge are the world's remaining link to the natural world. And this is the role they're playing in conserving the natural resources we all need.
I would like to send a message, especially to women indigenous to other areas. Help protect the forest like the indigenous women here in Prame Commune are doing for the long-term, sustainable benefit to people and the environment. Do it for our children and grandchildren, especially preserve the resin trees. Please keep in mind that the unity amongst indigenous people is vitally important.
เอิญจองជាឈ្មោះភូមិមួយដែលយកឈ្មោះតាមមេកន្ទ្រៀងឈ្មោះអិននិងអូដែលមានដុះដាំសម្រងជាច្រើននោះគឺអូចងកាលដើមឡើយលោកតាអិនគឺជាអ្នកដឹកនាំភូមិបានយ៉ាងល្អដែលជាទីគោរពស្រឡាញ់របស់ចាស់ទុំនិងអ្នករស់នៅក្នុងភូមិសប្តាហ៍ថ្ងៃភូមិអិនចងរបស់យើងខ្ញុំមានមនុស្ស77គ្រួសារស្មើនឹង413នាក់និងមានអំបូរជាជនជាតិទំពួនអ្នកភូមិយើងទាំងអស់គ្នាចិញ្ចឹមជីវិតដោយធ្វើចំការវិលជុំដាំស្រូវក្នុងចំការវិលជុំចិញ្ចឹមសត្វជ្រូកមាន់ទានិងដំបាញវត្ថុផ្សេងៗពីឫស្សីនិងបបាញ់សត្វក្នុងព្រៃអ្នកសហគមន៍ភូមិលឿនចងរបស់យើងមានជំនឿទៅលើអារក្សអ្នកតាព្រៃភ្នំមិនខុសពីសហគមន៍ជនជាតិដើមភាគតិចដទៃទៀតនោះទេហើយមានទំនំភូមិមួយចំនួនដូចជាមិនញ៉ាំទំពាំងឫស្សីខ្លីគីគក់អាញីកញ្ចៃឫស្សីឡាក់
នៅក្នុងភូមិលឿនចងហ្នឹងគេបានបែងចែកព្រៃមាន5ទី1ព្រៃឫស្សីសម្រាប់ប្រើប្រាស់ដីតំបន់ប្រភពទឹកនៅក្បែរភូមិព្រៃអរិយគឺនៅភ្នំហៀតមួយទៀតមានព្រៃកប់ខ្មោចដែលជាសំខាន់ជាងគេគឺតំបន់ព្រៃកប់ខ្មោចកាលណាបើបាត់បង់ព្រៃកប់ខ្មោចទៅធ្វើឲ្យអ្នកភូមិឈឺមក
របស់សហគមន៍ជនជាតិដើមភាគតិចភូមិដូនចងសុទ្ធតែមានសារៈសំខាន់ទាំងធ្វើចំការដីប្រភពទឹកដីព្រៃឫស្សីដីព្រៃអរៈនិងដីកប់ខ្មោចហើយវាតែងតែបម្រើផលប្រយោជន៍ជាច្រើនដល់អាយុជីវិតរបស់អ្នកភូមិយើងមិនតែប៉ុណ្ណោះដីទាំងអស់នេះវាបានបង្ហាញឲ្យឃើញនៅការរស់នៅនិងការប្រើដីតាមវប្បធម៌ប្រពៃណីរបស់ជនជាតិដើមភាគតិចទំពួននៅភូមិដូនចង
đây chúng ta vừa chung thành lập thôi cho chúng ta mới thấy cuộc sống từ đàm mỗi tăng tồn tại những cái đám sọp cặp chấm cạc lên ní hái dân cho lần ní dân tập cặp lên luôn ca này dân tập cho lên ní chi tiết dân tập được lên ní vừa chắc với trăm với một cặp lên này về chứ mà tập chỉ chúng ta vừa chung là bơi bơi ta vừa mò thì mùi phi tiết đã bơi thân là chúng ta khi em hái ngày cái đó khi tranh cọp mà cặp ở anh hàng thì
ប្រភពទឹកមានប្រយោជន៍ណាស់ចំពោះសម្រាប់ជនជាតិដើមភាគតិចហើយនិងសត្វព្រៃធនធានកម្ពុជាត្រូវការទឹកហើយទឹកយើងនៅភូមិខ្ញុំមានទឹកអូសេតអូតវ៉ាល់ហើយនិងអូស្រាញ
ដីមិនត្រឹមតែមានសារៈសំខាន់សម្រាប់ធ្វើចំការនោះទេដីក៏ជាកន្លែងផ្ដល់ប្រភពទឹកមួយទៀតដល់អ្នកភូមិសម្រាប់បរិភោគនិងធ្វើចំការដីប្រភពទឹករបស់យើងគឺមាននៅជុំវិញភូមិដូចជាអូចងអូសៀតអូតាវិលអូស្រាញ់អ្នកភូមិរបស់យើងតែងតែគោរពដឹងគុណដល់ម្ចាស់ទឹកដីដោយមានរៀបចំពិធីសែនព្រេនជារៀងរាល់ឆ្នាំម្ដងដោយសម្អាតកន្លែងប្រភពទឹកដាក់សែនមន់ជ្រូកស្រាមួយពីងនៅក្នុងថ្ងៃជាមួយគ្នានោះដែរបន្ទាប់ពីរៀបចំពិធីសែនក្បែរដីប្រភពទឹករួចហើយអ្នកភូមិរបស់យើងក៏បន្តមកសែននៅភូមិទៀតដោយមានការសម្អាតសាលាភូមិសែនជ្រូកមន់ស្រានិងគ្រឿងផ្សេងៗជាការពិតណាស់ដីព្រៃឈើនិងព្រៃឫស្សីមានសារៈសំខាន់ណាស់សម្រាប់អ្នកភូមិដូនចងរបស់យើងការធ្វើផ្ទះការធ្វើរបងធ្វើខ្ទមចំការទ្រង់ជ្រូកទ្រង់មន់ទ្រង់ទាគ្រឿងបបាញ់គ្រឿងដំបាញស្មុកកន្ទេលល្អីកាផាចង្អេរស្នាអុសបណ្ណាផ្លែឈើវល្លិ
ឫស្សីនឹងមានសារៈសំខាន់ហើយនឹងយើងប្រើប្រាស់ធ្វើជានេះពីស្បែងយើងនេះធ្វើជានេះខ្ទមហើយនឹងដាំហើយយើងទៅបាយខាអេរົບបានទាំងអស់យើងប្រើប្រាស់ហើយទៅពីយើងធ្វើនេះទៅពីយើងធ្វើម្ហូបអាហារទៀត
ការប្រើប្រាស់ក្នុងភូមិអូនចងមួយទីឫស្សីនេះហើយនេះជាប្រពៃណីតាំងពីព្រមបុរាណពីមុនរស់នៅដោយសារមានពកនេះឫស្សីនេះហើយឫស្សីនេះវាត្រូវការច្រើនទី1ត្រូវការផ្ទះតូមទី2ត្រូវការដូចជាអេទី3ត្រូវការដូចជាផាហើយខួតអីហ្នឹងគេប្រើការទាំងអស់ប្រើកាប់ប្រើអង្គប់ក៏បានអីក៏បានទាំងអស់
ហើយរ៉ានោះเป็นភ្នំឈើធំធំហើយមានព្រៃក្រាស់ហើយក្នុងនឹងវាមានដូចយើងជំនឿថាមានពេលនេះយើងគឺថាអរณิតាគឺយើងសូត្រនេះពេលថ្ងៃយើងធ្វើបុណ្យគឺសែនព្រានរបស់យើងគឺយើងជំនឿលបៃនោះគឺថាព្រៃរ៉ា
គមជនជាតិដើមភាគតិចយើងទុកដីព្រៃអារក្សសម្រាប់គោរពបូជាពីព្រោះតែអ្នកភូមិយើងមានជំនឿទៅលើអារក្សអ្នកតាព្រៃភ្នំតាំងពីដូនតាមកហើយនៅពេលមានពិធីបុណ្យផ្សេងៗអ្នកភូមិយើងតែងតែរំលឹកដល់អារក្សអ្នកតាព្រៃភ្នំសូមមកជួយថែរក្សាអ្នកភូមិយើងឲ្យមានសេចក្តីសុខសប្បាយលើសពីនេះសូម្បីតែការប្រើប្រាស់ដីធ្វើចំការការប្រើប្រាស់ដីប្រភពទឹកនិងការប្រើដីឫស្សីអ្នកភូមិរបស់យើងតែងតែគោរពដឹងគុណនិងធ្វើពិធីសែនព្រេនជារៀងរាល់ឆ្នាំនិងធ្វើធំរៀងរាល់7ឆ្នាំដោយមានការកាប់ក្របីផឹកស្រាជាដើម ដីកប់ខ្មោចគឺជាកន្លែងដែលអ្នកភូមិរបស់យើងបានចាត់ទុកជាដីសំខាន់មួយទៀតពីព្រោះអ្នកភូមិយើងត្រូវការដីទាំងនេះទុកសម្រាប់កប់ខ្មោចនៅពេលមានមនុស្សស្លាប់នៅក្នុងភូមិ
បាទតើតើដីកប់ខ្មោចគឺដីកប់ខ្មោចគឺដីនេះគឺយើងដីនឹងវាតំតំណពីដូនពីតាពីដើមបើកាលនេះទៅកាប់ដីខ្មោចគឺយើងជឿគ្រុនមិនអាចដូរនៅបានទេឡើយនឹងចឹងបានដីកប់ខ្មោចគឺមិនអាចនឹងកាប់ទេបើកាលណាយើងកាប់វាថោជឿគ្រុនយើងវាថោជឿគ្រុនដល់យើង
កប់ខ្មោចតែកប់ខ្មោចនឹងបើថាយើងនេះយើងធ្វើយើងធ្វើចំការធ្វើស្រែក្នុងនឹងអត់បានទេព្រោះយើងតំតាំងពីដូនតាយើងជំនឿដល់ពីពេកធ្លាប់អញ្ចឹងហើយបើថាកាប់ពីណាកាប់នោះខ្មោចនឹងខឹងយើង
ជាធម្មតាយើងទុកបុណ្យសពគឺរយៈពេល5យប់ឬ7យប់បើសិនជាអ្នកមានទ្រព្យគឺកាប់គោឬក្របីបើអ្នកមិនមានទ្រព្យគឺត្រឹមជ្រូកទុកសពឲ្យគ្រប់5យប់ឬ7យប់គឺយកទៅកប់នៅកន្លែងនេះអ្នកដែលរស់នៅក្នុងភូមិនេះទាំងអស់គឺត្រូវយកទៅកប់នៅក្នុងព្រៃនេះហើយនៅពេលដែលស្លាប់រក្សាទុកព្រៃនេះគឺមិនឲ្យអ្នកណាមកកាប់ឬបំផ្លាញព្រៃនេះបានទេ
ពុកម៉ែបងប្អូនជួយចុច Subscribe ជួយរូបlike ចុច Share រូបកណ្ដឹងនិងវីដេអូរបស់បងប្អូនថ្មីៗសូមអរគុណ